everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Mr. and Mrs. Traveler here.
ElleKosGlam at home.
All right, everybody. Welcome, and I hope that you and your family are having a wonderful time. Everybody is safe, sound, and secure, and using this time wisely to grow a little closer to each other and grow and do some things, read some books, and just get better.
The best part about this whole entire chaos is that we get to spend more time with our families, we get to cook at home, and we get to enjoy our families. So I'm trying to look on the bright side. And if you're new to our channel, thank you so much for watching. I'm ElleKosGlam, and this is Mr. Traveler. And if you want to book your cruise, just call us at 877-697-4470, or you can reach us online at www.mr-traveler.com, and we'll be more than happy to sell you off on your next adventure.
Indeed. All right, honey bunny, so what is it that you would like to talk about today?
Today we're going to show you 20 ways how the future of cruising could change due to the COVID-19 crisis. This is our predictions and our assessments, so this is kind of our opinions of what we think will change in the near future for cruising.
All right, well, let's dive right into it. I know you have been researching this, and I will put my 2 cents in with you if you don't mind.
Okay, sure. That works for me. So we came up with a list, and you can comment below and let us know if you think some changes will be made or if we missed anything that you think will be important for the cruise lines to implement into their systems before we start selling again. So this is what we're predicting for the near future.
Okay.
Let's get started.
Let's go.
The first thing that I would think would change for the cruise lines, and this is across the board, all cruise lines we're discussing, is implementing a new travel protection insurance due to the COVID crisis. I think that the wording will change and they will implement something that has to do with this, and the coverage will be probably a little bit different now.
As far as what? What do you think? What are you thinking, that they're going to cover it, not going to cover it?
I don't think they're going to cover it.
Probably will not cover it, given the fact that, like, the CDC is pushing that, and the U.S. government too. If somebody gets sick on board the ship, they want the cruise line to pay to get that person home, like on a chartered flight and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting how that plays out, and I don't know. I mean, I have a feeling that insurance companies probably are not going to cover that. It'll probably be a disclaimer, not covered on, with COVID-19. I have a feeling that we'll probably see that. How they're going to skate around this, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. That's why, I guess, why they make the big bucks.
That's right. They're going to have to change a lot of things, and this will be one of the biggest things I think that will change in the near future for all the entire fleet, all the cruise lines. They're going to have to figure out a way to incorporate the who's covered and who's not covered when you're selling. So that'll be something to watch.
Yep, I can see that.
The next thing that we think will change, and this will be an assessment to implement into their systems, is shorter cruise days. The new system, the future of cruising, will be that the cruise ships would need 24 hours for a turnaround instead of a couple hours. You know how when you disembark on a ship and you see people coming right onto the ship? I think that's going to totally change. I think they're going to take a whole day and just scrub and clean and disinfect. It's going to take longer for the ships to have that turnaround day where they were really fast with it the last time. I think that's going to totally change in the future.
Let me think about that one for a minute. And guys, I haven't heard her thing, so these are off the cuff on me too.
I have not shared these with Mr. Traveler at all.
Let me say this: I hope that's not true, because I don't want my cruise shortened. I don't want my cruise shortened. I want it lengthened. I like long cruises, but I think what you're going to see in the short term, and they've already talked about doing it, is limiting the number of passengers on board the ship.
And we're going to talk about that too.
And therefore, I limit the number of passengers and then extend out the time when the ship actually set sail. So instead of 3 o'clock in the air, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it may be 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock at night. That way they have less passengers. They can hurry up and get the other ones off real quick.
Right.
Say by 8 o'clock in the morning, and then have all the way till noon or whatever to thoroughly scrub the ship and then bring the next group of people on, but I think it'll be a limited number of people. So I think that's the way it's going. I hope they don't shorten cruises because, you know, 7 days is good for me. 8 days is perfect.
Speaking of which, my next assessment, and it has to do with also the subject that we're talking about right now, is sanitation and cleaning. I think that they will have to clean after each and every dinner service. And that's going to be a big deal too as well. And I think that it's going to take longer for them to do that. So maybe our dinner times would change a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that would definitely change.
They're probably going to have some new equipment. I imagine probably like some super steamers or something. And it's come through there, and I'm serious. They probably, I think they're going to have a lot different equipment.
I think we'll see a lot more robotic equipment.
They probably have some kind of steamer or sterilizer or something come through there. And you're right, probably will be a longer time in between the dinners.
The next thing that I think will change in the near future for cruising, in order to accommodate this crisis and bypass some sanitation, is no buffets. I think they're going to take all the buffets out. If they have buffets, I think the crew will serve us instead of us serving ourselves.
I agree with your second part. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get rid of the buffet, but I think that they're going to serve us. And that way they can control the touch points on who does what. You may even see them go as far as to actually hand out the plates and everything. Like, you know how the plates are out there for you to grab? They may actually hand out the plates and everything. To start with. And, you know, let me say this, put this disclaimer out there. I don't think this is going to be the end-all be-all. I think this is just going to be introduction back into cruising. You know, as time goes on, people are going to go, I think, back to, you know, the way they were living, and this will be somewhat of a distant memory as we go down the road. So
yes, it will pass. It's temporary.
So, yes. So, yeah. So I think, yeah, they'll be serving us.
But I think some of these things we're talking about will probably be permanent as well. But we'll see.
Yeah, some things will probably change, but yeah.
The next thing that I wanted to talk about that will be implemented into the future of cruising is disposable items. I think there'll be a lot of disposable, user-friendly, ocean-friendly cups, forks, knives, plates that will be used in the future to accommodate disinfectant and sanitization as well. So there'll be a lot of disposable things to use besides, let's say, plastics and things like that.
Yeah, I don't know with that one. Especially coming out of them being done cruising for all these months, I don't see them investing a lot of new money into things. I think you're right to an extent, but I don't think they're going to redo their utensils and all that stuff because. But
I think for a while we'll be eating with different utensils that's throwaway friendly that they can just toss away.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It's an interesting concept. I think so. Yeah, I think you're right about some of the things. Like when we went on Norwegian and they had the disposable water.
Yeah.
Instead of the bottles, they had the carton water. The carton water. It was from Michigan.
And then also, instead of plastic straws, they had paper straws.
Right.
So I think there'll be a lot of that going on.
Yeah, you'll see that.
Well. Okay, so the next thing that I think that will happen in the near future, which is already happening right now, but it's definitely going to be until this blows over, in my opinion, it'll be in the future, is temperature checks and medical screenings. I think there'll be a lot of that going on. And when you disembark, when you go onto the ports or you embark, your temperature will be checked. I think that there'll be a lot of temperature checks and screenings and things like that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're probably right. For the near term, like for the rest of 2020, yeah, I can see them doing that. And maybe even requiring you to have some kind of a health checkup before you come on board. I hope they don't want you to do the test and have that before you come on board, because that hurt.
Yeah, we took the test and it was negative, but it's very painful.
Yeah, it's a painful thing. I mean,
it hurts.
They shove that thing way up your nose.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. The next thing that I think that will change and will be implemented in the future is the fact that 70 and up sailors will have to produce a fit to travel note from your doctor to let the cruise lines know that you're fit to travel. I think that 70 and up sailors may have some underlying issues going on, so I think that this will also be implemented into the cruise lines.
Yeah, we've actually seen that. I know Norwegian has mentioned that going forward, and I can see the other cruise lines jumping on board with that. And like I said, for the short term, they may require everybody to. I don't know. I can see them, doing that as a means of getting around somebody being sick on the ship. So yeah.
I think that they will have to produce some type of notes from their doctor or a travel note. The next thing that I think will be implemented into the future of cruising is crowd control. That instead of having clusters of people together, because we crowd together a lot, there's going to be more social distancing, especially in lines for food, or with the ice creams, the crew may hand them out. Anything that's free, they probably take a step back, especially if you're not a first-time cruiser, the veterans.
I personally, when we go back, and I hope that we're able to go back, because I want to go in July. Hopefully, when we go in July, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna be taking this. I'm gonna be taking the stairs a lot. I'm gonna try to stay off the elevators the best I can. I need to exercise anyway.
Me too.
But that way you stay out of the elevator just for the near future.
Another fact that will probably happen, and I'm almost sure this will happen in the future of cruising for all cruise lines, is reservations will have to be made for entertainment shows and probably dinner as well. Freely going to the buffet and things like that. I think that there'll be a time crunch on the buffets, but if you want to go to formal night dinner or regular dinner inside the dining room, you will definitely have to make reservations for that, because there's going to be more people doing that versus going to the buffet, I think.
Probably, yeah. I can see them doing reservations. First of all, the crowds will be smaller on the ships. Stagger do the reservations for the shows. Probably in the buffet, you may see less chairs, maybe. So they're spaced out a little bit more. Yeah. And apart. Okay. I think that they're going to try to attract as many people as they possibly can to get us selling again. So there's going to be some really, really good offers in the initial time of selling. I do believe that's going to happen. What do you think? Yeah, I think so. Once we come on board and it's like, okay, we're doing this thing. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of competition. I do too. And probably, boy, this is hard to say. How they want to attract you more than anything is value adds. So what does that mean? Onboard credits, maybe an add-on specialty dining, add-ons to the thing, not necessarily a lower price. But that being said, I think that they're going to have to do both. Me too. To get started. I think you're going to see add-ons and lower price initially until we get rolling. Yeah, because we've been out of selling so long that the economy has dropped with selling. So I think they're going to do a lot of attraction to get us selling again. And I don't mind it. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I remember vividly in 2007 and 8 when the housing market tanked. Thank God we were in a pretty good position at the time where it didn't really affect us too bad. We got some killer deals. Now I know that was 12 years ago, but it's going to be a similar situation, I think. I mean, killer deals. 10-day cruise in the balcony for $500 a person. We did. It was great, and that was pre-travel agent days. Yes. So. There's going to be a flip side to that. The flippity flap. Yes. In order to get us selling again, they have to give us that attractive price, but on board, the prices would go higher for any specialty dining, any on-board purchases, and they're going to make up for it with the drinks and beverages. I do believe that's going to happen. Yeah, they're going to have to find out some kind of way to make up for the revenue, so they'll be hustling. So there'll be a higher cost of spending on board. Just make sure you look out for it and don't fall into the trap, because you can do the entire cruise without spending any money. Well, some things that we used to see were free may not be free anymore. Right. They'll be charging for a lot more now. But to get you on board, they're going to give you that attractive price. But when you get on board, you're going to realize the prices is probably almost doubled. We'll see. We'll see. And the next thing is convincing the safety of passengers. They will have to increase the onboard camaraderie. The crew would have to make us feel very comfortable, because we have been through
some type of damage. And let me tell you, it was not easy to go through this pandemic, but we did get through it. So the crew would have to work even harder to make us feel more safer.
Yeah, well, they got to work hard to make themselves feel safer too. Being as they went through all this as well, and I'm sure they were, them and their families were affected. So yeah, it's going to be, the cruise lines are going to have a time convincing the workers and crew, hey, we're going to make sure that you're okay.
Yes.
On these ships. So yeah.
That's going to be a job. Right? To add to that, there's going to be a more strict policy on hand washing. They're going to push hand washing everywhere you look. You're probably going to be tired of them saying washy washy.
Oh yeah.
You're going to probably have to use hand sanitizer everywhere you go and wash your hands all day, every
They
day.
probably going to make you washy.
I think so.
Remember, what was that fun of Dick with Jane where he was the Costco greeter and he had to track them all down? That's what they're going to do. They're going to be tracking you down, tackling you in the squirt. Wash it. I said washy.
We're going to have to wash it. I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. Next one. Another thing that they will implement in the future, and we probably never heard of it. Some of you may never heard of it, but we have because we cruised 50 times, so we know about it. There will be a lot more cruises to nowhere. There will be no ports at call. You just ride the ship and come back. There are going to be a lot of those going on because there's going to be less ports to go to.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. We've actually never done one, but I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind. That would be a very relaxing trip, I think.
It would. If you enjoy the ship and you love the ship, let's say the Oasis line, the Harmony, or
just enjoy the ship.
The Allure, you want to just enjoy the ship and come on back home, there's going to be a lot of cruises to absolutely nowhere.
That'd be interesting. Probably be a lot cheaper too.
Yes. Another thing is, and we've already mentioned it, less ports of calls, because the ports have to trust us and know that we can't do anything to their islands, and the islands are so small, so I don't blame them for being so strict about us docking there. But there's going to be more ports that probably turn us away. So if you're going on a cruise and you think, let's say you're going to St. Martin will say no, you may end up going to St. Thomas. There's going to be a lot of that going on as well.
I don't know.
You ready?
I mean, because what would be the reason they would turn us away? They'd have to think that somebody on board was sick.
Yes.
I mean, so yeah, if they think somebody on board is sick, then yeah, potentially, you can potentially see that. But in general, I think those islands are probably like, yeah, please come back. I'm sure
they need us, but then again, they don't want us to, they don't want problems on their island.
Yeah.
And I can understand that as well. So to add to that, there'll be actually smaller capacities on ships, and I think they'll be doing a lot of smaller ships maybe instead of large ships.
Well, like we were saying it earlier, I think you're going to see, because there's a lot of giant ships that already exist, I think you're going to see reduced capacity on those ships for a while. Yeah. Until we get this thing under control, or whatever happens. I
think they're going to allow less capacity than they allow. Let's say the Oasis 5000, they may only allow 3000, maybe 2500 on there, just to make sure they have crowd control and keep the ships to where it's not so many people on there and very crowded. I think so, and also it'll be a less crowded capacity. It'll be less crowded capacity on the ship. I think they will actually roll out fewer new ships. Like they build a ship every year, especially the Oasis and Carnival. They come out with a ship every year. Even Norwegian does it, right?
Yeah, I mean they're building a lot. So yeah, I agree. Well, yeah, I agree with that. And they have actually come out and said that they're going to postpone. I did read a couple of articles where they said they're going to just limit the shipyards to like 2 ships a year. So yeah, they're definitely pushing back. I know some of the cruise lines have already canceled their orders. Yeah, they've already canceled their orders, and I'm still wondering about the Mardi Gras. I have a sneaking suspicion.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Okay, I won't say it.
I hope that we'll be able to sell that for New Year's. If you're interested, make sure you give us a call, 877-697-4470. We're trying to do a group cruise for New Year's on the Mardi Gras Carnival.
Hopefully.
So instead of rolling out new ships, they're going to start doing less refurbished ships, So they're going to slow down on the refurbishments. Usually they'll put a ship in dry dock and go ahead and work on it and rename it and resend it out. I think there's going to be a lot of less of that going on as well.
Yeah, they're going to push pause on anything that costs money, for sure.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. And you've got a lot of things that are going on, like Carnival building a new port in Port Canaveral, which I'm sure they'll finish it. It was almost finished before all this happened anyway. But a lot of ships are coming. They're not going to do Alaska this year for the most part. And so there's going to be a lot of ships still sitting idle, even when we start sailing again in July. So.
And the last thing that I would like to know if they roll out or not, and I can foresee this in the future of cruising, is due to this crisis, is they're going to have medical equipment for the staff as well as us. I think that we would be made to wear masks, or they will be handed out when we board the ship, when we embark. And I think that that is a good idea. Me and Mr. Traveler have two different ideas about this because he feel like it's kind of uncomfortable to wear masks.
I think that they'll have the mask available for us, and not necessarily make us wear them, because they're going to go through the other things of keeping us distance. And then you'll see, because the ships aren't sailing at full capacity, they'll have a block of rooms somewhere on the ship that they'll use for quarantine areas if they need to. And I also think that you will probably see them giving out a free health screening if you exhibit any of the symptoms of the COVID-19. I don't think they'll charge you for that. They'll
especially if you have a fever.
Yeah, if you got a fever, hey, let's go get checked out and take it from there. So I think that's what you'll see.
I think that's a good idea to have that spot for them, because this has been an issue over the entire crisis of ships just sitting out at sea, filled to capacity with people for days. I think that they would have more area for that quarantine area. So make sure you keep posted and watch what's going to happen. So we want to make sure you take care of yourself and stay safe at home. Thank you so much for watching our video. We appreciate it. And if you have any ideas and you think some good ideas will be down below, we're going to do a separate video on your ideas. We're going to get back into talking with you all and saying who said what and saying your name on camera, and we can go ahead and discuss this a little bit further. So let us know if we came up with some good ideas, what's your idea, and we would love to know what you're thinking.
I feel sorry for anybody who coughs or sneezes once they're on board the ship.
Me too.
They might get chucked overboard.
Yeah. Instead of people, just passing you coughing, you're gonna kind of take a look and take a step back now, and it's gonna affect you a little bit more, because we have been through a pandemic, a crisis, so it's in the back of everybody's mind now.
Yeah, it surely is.
So we want to make sure we stay calm, make sure you enjoy your family, stay at peace, and make sure that you know that everything that's out of your control, you can't do anything about it. We can just roll with the punches. So don't worry, because it makes you more susceptible to bad health. So we want to make sure that we stay calm and make sure we do what we need to do on our side as being responsible, wash our hands, stay sanitized, and thank you so much for watching.
All right, everybody. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to see your comments down below.
Life short.
Have fun, guys.
Bye, everyone.
See the world.
See the world. Bye.